I'm Jeremy Hirsch. That's a commentator's blazer. This is Speechbox. The purpose of Speechbox is basically going to be to run down sort of the DC and Marvel live-action universe in regards specifically to television. Every week, bi-weekly, depending on what me and my production team are capable of, we'll give some sort of thoughts and feedback regarding the live-action universes that we've been set forth with. Tonight, in case you can't tell, I'm excited. I'm going to go through with Gotham. We're about 5 episodes in at the time of this recording, and I'm going to go with some good news and some things that can possibly be, improved with Gotham. First and foremost, I would say one of the best casted shows on TV right now. A lot of people do a fantastic job. Ben McKenzie is insanely likable as a young future Commissioner Jim Gordon. Robin Lord Taylor is doing a fantastic bit as Oswald Cobblepot. Depending where you are, and there will be spoilers when I talk, so brace yourself for that, as the current Penguin, and we're seeing kind of how he evolves into that role. But Robin Lord Taylor is stealing the show. If you were watching the show, if you're enamored with the show, or even if you've just caught some glimpses of it, he is definitely a reason to watch. The supporting cast is fantastic as well. I'm actually surprised Jada Pinkett Smith's Fish Mooney, not a character from the comics, but still a fantastic addition. I actually think she's doing a lot better than I thought she would. Just everybody's been doing an incredible job. I forget the actor's name, apologize, but the kid playing the young Bruce Wayne, also doing great. Sean Pertwee, son of the legendary John Pertwee, killing it as Alfred in what he's been given. As we've seen throughout the course of the show, he's now starting to have a little bit more to work with than just kind of Alfred standing there in the corner talking to young Bruce. But fantastic job on the casting. Everybody's just doing a phenomenal job with the roles that they've been given. The thing that's kind of on the minds of a lot of people who are watching the show, and I'm going to try my best to steer away from being negative. Everything is constructive criticism. We all have opinions. We're all entitled to them. I am not the end-all, be-all of the comic book universe, and neither is anyone else on the internet, despite what I'm sure will be flooded in the comments section. The writing sometimes is a bit of a cross point for me. In the first 2 episodes, we were kind of given a whole Edward Nygma, that Ed, he's such a Riddler, or Selena Kyle, no, you call me Cat. And the writing needs to have a certain level of subtlety to it. And I realize it's not the same type of show as The Flash or as Arrow, but when you want to make sort of that Easter egg known or foreshadowing known, you need something more on par with not shoving your audience's face in it. Now, I posted a little bit on Twitter in terms of my thoughts on this, and I actually got some feedback from Corey Michael Smith, who plays Edward Nygma. Again, does a great job, love the casting. He's been phenomenal in the little bits of him that we've seen, and it's been a good nuanced performance. But my problem has been, his defense to it was, well, Gotham caters to, a very big demographic. There's newer fans. There's people who may not be familiar with the Batman universe. And these are all excellent points, but that doesn't mean you have to dumb down your writing. Again, different network, different type of shows. But even when Arrow throws out something, or, we're only a couple episodes in The Flash, and, even Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's not so much in your face. If every single time you're going to introduce a character and you're going to put in their face who they will become, firstly, if it's somebody that's not familiar with the character from the comic books, they're not really going to get what you're going for. And then secondly, if it is somebody who has, experience in the land of DC Comics, they're going to be nauseated by the fact that you keep bringing up, he's the Riddler, he makes riddles. Yes, we get it, phenomenal. At the time of this, there's been 5 episodes that aired. I think the best representation of work has been the Arkham episode. If you can hone in on that tone and keep that, I think you'll keep your audience and you'll make them happy. It's so early on in this show to keep judging or saying, this sucks or that sucks. You got to give a show room to breathe. I thought Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in its first season was catastrophically bad in the first few episodes and then really found itself towards the end. I think Gotham is more than capable of doing the same. Another thing that I would think would breathe some life into it is be mindful of the characters that you select. I think it's great when you want to pop in Poison Ivy, or you make a reference to eventually what will bring about Bane. But, with all these little side cuts and all these little side stories, use characters that make sense. I think they're going to be utilizing Hugo Strange, which is a great character for this specific time period. Using the main crime families, with Maroni and with Falcone is a great way to go. If you want to involve Bruce and just show him more than an obsessive little kid, you use a side character like Thomas Elliot. Tommy Elliot would be a good character to utilize. You want to use more like crime-esque characters like a Tony Zuko, go that route. You want to do something a little bit more towards the absurd and sort of to promote, mythology and legend on the show. Do something reflective of Court of Owls. Obviously, there's a myriad of ways to go. You just don't want to. You don't want to just keep throwing characters for the sake of throwing characters, and then by the time Bruce is actually Batman, because I think Bruce is 12 years old during this. You don't want everybody to appear because you don't want a 20-year-old Bruce in his prime beating up 50-year-old villains. It's just kind of a little bit ridiculous. But we'll keep watching. We'll keep seeing what we have. Again, this is sort of the tone and kind of what I want to go with for the show. There's going to be 10, 12 different comic book television shows out there. As we go across with Netflix getting some Marvel series, DC is working on a few more series, so we'll just pick and talk what we choose. Leave comments below, let me know what you would like me to talk about or things that you want me to kind of dissect, things you agree with, things you disagree with, and we'll go from there. But the main thing is we're living in a golden era, if I may, of comic book television, and it's wonderful that we have the ability to watch all these different shows and have the opportunity to talk about this. I will try my best to see if I can get some of the actors or showrunners, whoever I can, and maybe ask them some questions and things of that nature and put that out here for you. Outside of that, I always want to leave a little bit of something, and what I mean by that is I will end my show with a Broment. A throw out to a bro or brosket in terms of what other people are doing creatively. This week, quick shout out to a friend of mine, Matt Bolea. Phenomenal musician. I will put in the description a link to his Bandcamp site so you can take in a little bit from Matt. And if nothing else, keep watching the shows you love, be a fan, support it, and that's the reason why we keep getting these things. That's the reason why we may have a Krypton TV show, which I think is going to mostly focus on mostly just focus on Krypton pre-Superman, so that'll be interesting. Supergirl show in the works. We're going to have a Daredevil show that we're getting. There's just, like I said, a myriad of different things that we're going to be able to watch and enjoy as fans. So keep watching Speechbox, keep giving me feedback, and always be a fan, true believers. Thank you.